Well, I could imagine that we'll have to do some adjustments with the formations as we go. So I'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, it's gotta... The combat system in this game is gonna take some time getting used to. So if you really compare this combat system compared to Persona 2's, you can really see the improvements they made, or some of the things they've kept the same. But yeah, I imagine that people were criticizing the shortcomings of this combat system, and they took it to heart and changed it, which is good. I'm not really sure how they started off with this, but I guess they just wanted to do something new, like they have done with every other spin-off they made. But this was the first spin-off they actually made, so yeah, I guess they just wanted to do something new. Well, I don't really know. Like most other people, I haven't really played the first SMT games as the first games in this series, or is in the SMT series. So I don't really know. But what was I talking about? But yeah, it is a bit different, I guess, in a sense. I never really was a fan of how you conversate with demons here. Maybe it's just because even if you can see the traits of your demons when you analyze them, or when you are supposed to conversate with them, it is not completely apparent of, will this actually work on this demon? Will it give a positive response? Sometimes it just seems like, oh, so you can get a positive response out of this demon with this response, but if you pick another demon not of the same type and try to use the same not the same action, he might react negatively to you. So it's, I don't know if it's random or if it somehow makes any sense. Whatever. It just seems kind of random that you get different responses sometimes. Since I know it is sometimes random in the Ride of Kusunoa games when you try to negotiate with demons, I do imagine it is the same here, but it's hard to tell. I just don't like how the way you have to use the same response 3 to 4 times, or how it works. But it's something you can work with. Oh great, we picked up some more QQ helmets. Funny how you can actually equip guns in this game. Isn't Japan a very strict country when it comes to gun laws? Well, you're probably gonna pick them up from some kind of illegal vendor somewhere. Yeah, I mean, who cares about laws as much as you usually do when there's demon invasions going on? I don't know. I wonder how people actually reacted to that. No, kids are using guns. We must forbid this game from being released. I don't know. Okay, so I look at the traits, gloomy and timid. What am I supposed to do? And think of it, there's actually a lot of demons in these games, and it's so hard to remember the responses you're supposed to give to your demons to actually get something out of it. Obviously, you do want a lot of spell cards, but how you acquire them from each and every one of them is... It does make my long time memory work. It's giving my long time memory a workout, that's for sure. And it's never been that good to begin with. Oh, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just trying to find Maki. I can still feel Maki here. I can smell her from the bed, on the bed sheets. Oh, that's gross, man. Come on, man. Well, it's pretty obvious that Mark does like Maki. Her scent, it's still on the bed sheets. She was here. Yes, we were in this room some time ago. She obviously was here, dude. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Hey, you think the other guys have this power too? Yes, I do. I'll figure this out. There's nothing I can't do if I put my mind to it. Okay, man. This power is kind of unnerving, but it looks like it'll come in handy. Yes, especially for you, since you are in the second game. I'll prepare for the worst, but I'm worried about my little grandson. He should be at school. I hope nothing's happened there. Me too, old man. Oh, come on. Please, give me a demon with estoma, a persona with estoma, and I am good to go. Please. It looks like when you shift formations, you do lose some turns. Or maybe that's just because I did that when it was actually... we'll just have to see, I'm not really sure. But I would imagine that you do lose some turns when you do that. I'll have to see that some more times to make sure. All right, let's keep going. All of these dead ends, man. You can obviously see them on the map, so... Hello there. So you do imagine that there's nothing if you go that way, but you kind of get curious sometimes, so you go there anyway. This looks like an actual enemy I can get something out of, if I can get a positive response out of them. Okay. What just happened? So the demons are happy, okay. Wow, the enemies just do so little damage to you. Well, I imagine this is like a warm-up for what's to come. Act automatically. Oh, okay. So this is the first time I see these guys. So if I defeat them, will I actually be able to see their data later on if I analyze them? I would imagine that that's how it works. That's what I'm used to, but we'll have to see. All of these different small things which could have changed between games, which they improved on or something, which I'm not really... Yeah, I'm just not sure. Let's not try to overanalyze, okay? Don't make it too hard on yourself. Oh, no. I don't really need to say right now. Should be able to save once we get close to leaving this hospital. Yeah, so once we get a better grasp of this, or rather when things start to get really repetitive, I'll start to edit out more of this. Because I could imagine that it's boring to see fights over and over again. Really, at some point you can't really say much else besides commenting on, "Oh, I defeated you, oh, that spell works well," and such. Small comments like that. Yeah. Confession time. So so if you have watched my Persona 2 Innocent Sin playthrough, I didn't really do much editing at all in that game. I think I showed pretty much everything. And I kind of regret doing it that way. I was kind of in the mindset that, oh hey, this is a blind playthrough, so you should see everything that happens, like every time I get stuck or whenever I do something good happens or whatever. But I don't know. I think I really changed my stance on that ever since that playthrough. It just seems so unneeded to show everything, really, even if it's a blind playthrough. So I really regret not doing that in the Innocent Sin playthrough. If I would have played that game, which it's not too likely that I'll play it again, I would have edit out some of the content which becomes repetitive. And really, these are kind of old games, or this is a remake, so it has some pretty old school stuff which you don't really see much of nowadays. So you can't expect there to be repetitive or boring parts and such. Which is fine, really. Well, I guess it's just fine because I kind of grew up with stuff like that. So many Nintendo games which were very hard and they were unforgiving and they were repetitive and such. But you kind of you kind of put up with it back then because you didn't really. Those were not really things that concerned you when you played the games. It was just. I mean, yeah. So when the Nintendo came out, it was just, wow, these games are so cool. I can't stop playing them. So you didn't really think the same way back then when everything was so new. But as you kind of get more experience with playing games, you start to eventually see the shortcomings of them. Yeah, it's like your whole mindset shifts as you grow older. And the more games you play. I think this could apply to anyone who starts off as playing games as a newly initiated gamer, and then as you play more games, you will just, yeah. So now these things are kind of starting to bother me because I'm not just a greenhorn anymore. Wow, you got smacked.